Hello everyone, my name is Mustafa Mohamed Botri, and in the previous tutorial we saw how we can process our form to ensure that we have a valid form data, right? And we outputted the data as a JSON. Now inside the form we realized that we created this reporter form from this reporter module. Okay, we basically ensure that we have the same attribute which is inside the module as in which is inside this module as it is inside this reporter form. Okay, but what if for instance this reporter module has a lot of attributes? Okay, so let's say 15 field names. Are we going to write the same 15 field names over here? Okay, it becomes a little bit redundant. Okay, so one of the ways we can go about it is we can actually change this. Instead of writing this from the forms, we can actually import model form. Okay, and instead of listing a whole lot of things, write sorry the module, we import the reporter module in here like this. Okay, and I'll set it to reporter, and then later on when it comes to the fields, we can either set it as an array. So for instance, we know that the field is supposed to have some ID and then the full name and then the email, right? We know we are supposed to get this from the module. Okay, so we can either set it as this, and then if we go back and then we make the same post request, we are supposed to get the same thing. Okay, now instead of us going about it this way, this is also a way of listing. Okay, so this way is also good if we want to validate certain items. Okay, maybe we don't want to do the validation across all board. Okay, we want to do the validation for certain items, so you can list it this way. Else, if you want everything, another way you can go about it is just inside a string you just do underscore twice and then all underscore, then you save it, and this is going to do the same thing. Okay, so if we do our validation, we get it. If we use the form data which has the name missing, we do the same validation, we get the same error. Okay, so this is something I quickly want to chip in there. You must also bear it in mind that for the model you have to make sure to import that particular model inside this particular forms. Okay, now let's quickly go back inside our views, and then this is how we can actually get the clean data that our form processed. Okay, so we can do reporter form dot clean data, and then we specify the field name to actually get the data that was cleaned. Okay, so if I copy this and paste this and change this to, for instance, full name, if I save this and then we send this via JSON again, this is actually going to print the first name and then the full name. So I'm actually going to send through JSON, and then voila, we get a clean data. Okay, so we have the email and then the name, and then if we go here, realize that I printed the email first before I printed the name. Now today's tutorial is actually to focus on how we can actually save the clean data. Okay, so this our form processing, which is this form reporter form, actually has this attribute called the save data. Okay, so instead of us, for instance, going by the old way of, let's say, instantiating a variable called, for instance, reporter, and then doing something like reporter, and then let's say full name goes to blah blah blah, and then the email goes to blah 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 and everything, and then later calling the reporter.save, we can actually go straight ahead and then save it this way. Okay, just do reporter form save, as simple as this, and this is actually going to save the clean data that you get. Okay, and then down here too, when it's how do you call it, a form data that is being sent, we can actually do reporter, and then we call the save on it. Okay, so reporter save. So now if we save this, if we post this, this is actually going to save. Okay, so let's post it. It gets saved. But I actually don't see it because we've not written our get function. So in the next tutorial, we're actually going to write our get function to actually query from the database and then return the data that we want. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.